So we're down in the dungeon at Wicklow Gaol, and we're going to do a bit of an EVP session and maybe...
Go away.
Thank you. Thank you, Ghost Tube, for your input. The following video is not a polished episode. It is purely the highlights from a live stream investigation. These videos are designed to show you some unique places, give you the history, and give you any happenings that we might have had. Are they paranormal? We'll let you decide.
Hi, I'm Colleen Taylor. I'm from Wicklow. You're in Wicklow's historic jail right now, and it's been here since 1702, and it closed its doors as a functioning jail in 1924. A lot of things happened here. It's gone through rebellions, civil war, and of course the famine. So a lot of sadness, a lot of misery. These walls have seen and heard a lot of horrible things happen. We had a traveling hangman here by the name of Hempenstall. He was almost 7 foot tall, and he was the traveling hangman for Wicklow. But he was infamous in here for putting the rope around a man's neck, hoisting it over his shoulder, walking around till the man's neck broke. Oh. So you can just imagine walking gallows. It's exactly what he was,
yeah.
You know. And lots of sadness happens. We had children from the age of 11 years of age that were transported across to Australia. And they might have done something as simple as picking berries or an apple on somebody else's land.
So just surviving.
Just
really.
surviving.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the people that committed a crime on purpose, just because if they came in here, at least they had a roof over their heads and one meal a day.
Yeah.
So it was also a very corrupt place. So even if they did get their release papers, which very few people did, but even if they did, often what would happen is... I'm sorry, that's going off again. Turn it off.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, it's this one again. That's weird. Some people were hung. When you first come into the jail, what you see right above the front door is a beam at the top of the building and a doorway. Now, that's not the actual one, because the jail is a third of the size it once was, but it's a recreation at the front of what it once looked like. And basically, the door was opened, the rope was put around their necks, and they were given a quick kick off the side, and they were hung there, which would have brought quite a crowd locally to come and see the hangings.
So how many would you have had here?
How many people?
For the watching of it.
For the watching, it would have been from towns all the way around.
Yeah.
The houses across the street from the jail, they tell stories going back that people would pay to go upstairs to the upstairs of those homes so they could look through the windows to see the hanging out the front of the jail. So,
because in Adelaide we were getting about 2,500 people, which is only a new city then.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been that many because it's a smaller area, but it would have been, the square would have been packed, the road would have been packed.
Yeah,
you know, not pleasant really
for the
when
entertainment.
you think about it.
Yeah.
Entertainment, yeah, that's what it was back then. So when you travel around the jail, we have it set up so that it's like traveling in time. So you start off at the beginning of the tour in the earliest years of the jail's history, which is 1702 on. And one of our first prisoners was a Catholic priest, because the jail was built by the English to incarcerate the Irish. It didn't want the Irish to own the land. It also did not want them to have an education, so it didn't want them to read and write and do basic math. You know, it was just a really sad time for the Irish people, and they went through misery. They also didn't want them to practice Catholicism. So one of our first prisoners was a Catholic priest. As for our friends that never left, there's quite a few of them. And as you go around the jail, you'll pick up on different energies in different areas. Across the way there's a cell number 2. It was once the schoolroom, and so we have stories of a little girl that likes to pull on dresses and makes appearance. And there was a matron here, and she was a lovely lady. She did the tours, and one day she's given the tour in the area that we call number 2. And one of the women was filming her, and she noticed that matron's dress was being tugged on.
Okay.
So what we often find is people will leave lollipops or bags of sugar or something around the jail because they're scared the little girl will follow them home.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we go around picking up lollipops from all the cells. Just across the way here,
Yep.
number 27, we call it John's cell because we will see shadow figures popping in and popping out, or a head pop out sometimes. And we've had different investigators go in and say that they're picking up and they believe it's somebody named John.
Right.
So we call it John's
Yeah.
cell.
Nickname. Yeah.
Yeah. Shadow figures, see them aplenty around the jail. Corner of your eye. Sometimes you walk right into them and you'll get a jump. It has happened. It just happened recently. When we have prisoners, when we have customers going around the jail, the upstairs of the jail was once the chapel. And it wouldn't have been a very pleasant place. We know a young woman did give birth to a child up there and died. It is now the ship, which explains what it was like to be sent on those ships. Most of the prisoners were sent across to Australia. And when you go up there, it's a horrible feeling, particularly for women. Whatever's up there does not like the women. We had one woman that claimed that she was getting pebbles thrown at her up there. We have had people come up with pictures to us, and you can see an image of a man faded in the distance, in the background. And so that's quite interesting. It's the only place in the jail that I really do feel uncomfortable. I don't mind walking around this jail at night time. I'll even go down to the dungeon, but the ship I try to avoid.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one I want to be in then.
Yeah. So down at the back of the jail here is downstairs to the dungeon, is the actual dungeon. It's been there since the original, this is the original part of the jail, the first part that was built. And down there we have, we hear sounds of shuffling feet. We also hear grunts.
It's going off again.
Yeah, it is.
So is that natural for it to?
It doesn't usually do that.
Okay.
Maybe it doesn't like us talking about it. I'm trying to press all the buttons. It could just be misbehaving.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and recently we did get a videotape of something, a shadow walking around on the wall and then through the wall, and that just happened a couple of weeks ago. We have heard people go down there and then they come up quite frightened because they said they seen somebody standing in the corner watching them. That's happened a couple of times. I mean, and some horrendous things happen down there. If you go down there later, you'll see there's what looks like a big cement jacuzzi, and it wasn't fun. Basically, they were put in there, and I think originally it was probably put there to delouse them, maybe, to clean them up, but they basically tortured them by boiling them by hot coals underneath that, it down there. It was horrendous. Yes, horrendous. So, as you can imagine, I think a place like this absorbs a lot of that negative energy.
Emotions and,
So,
Wow. Cool.
And then outside in the yard, we have a yard outside, and out there you see there's a copy of the treadwheel. And that was the punishment. They'd go out there on the treadwheel. It's like a modern day stepper where you walk on them. And you could have been put on there for an hour, you could have been put on there for 4 hours. And it didn't do anything else. It didn't grind grain or produce water or anything like
just
that.
A torture.
It was just their punishment. And one of the complaints actually was that the women were losing too much weight, which I think is quite funny.
Yeah,
you know, we could all
do.
You know, I can't tell you it's 100% true, but the law is around here that around the jail are plenty of mass graves. Okay, so around by the cannons on the side of the jail are supposedly mass graves, and whether that's true or not, I can't tell you.
Well, with the executed, how many were executed here?
I couldn't tell you the number.
So they don't know.
They don't know, but there's a river Vartry that goes through Wicklow, and at one point it is written that the fishermen complained because they were trying to pull up fish, but there were so many dead bodies that were dumped in there, it was affecting
Yeah.
their catch.
Wow.
And they wanted it stopped.
Yeah.
You know, so there is a couple of places around the town where they did bury
Yeah.
the prisoners.
I was going to say, usually,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about here in Ireland, but I know in England and Australia, if they executed the prisoners on site, the law was they had to be buried within the precinct of a jail.
I mean,
So
we
whether-
do know there was
yeah.
just up the hill here,
Yeah.
walking distance, it was Cemetery Hill.
Right.
So they did bury them
Okay.
up there, probably around the convent at the top
Yeah.
of the hill here.
All right.
And we know, like we said, we've been told that when they were doing tearing it down and then they rebuilt the front of it to look like
Yeah.
the original part of the jail, that they did come across skeletons. So.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have quite a few experiences actually. I remember very early on when I first started working here, I was in here in the evening closing up and I heard a woman crying. She was sobbing. It was heartbreaking to hear. But you tell yourself it's coming from outside or you're hearing something echoing through, so you can talk those ones away. But I did come in early one morning and I turned on a couple of things as I'm going along and I looked up and on the stairs here was a white mist. And it felt, you could look through it, but I felt like if I went over and picked it up and moved it like a cardboard cutout, I could do that. It kind of had that feeling to it. And it traveled up around the stairs. It walked along here and it went into the cell at the third door on the left there. So that was one of them. And I know the lady that held this position before me had seen it a couple of times as well.
Okay.
In the shop where we have our gift shop, I was there sorting through the books, and I felt, 100%, not did I feel or did it happen, I felt a hand run from my neck down to the base of my spine, and I thought maybe somebody was trying to get past me or something, so I went to turn around and say, excuse me, I'm sorry, and nobody was there. And there was a young lady in the shop with me and she asked me what happened because she said I just went very pale. And nothing was there. It was just, and that was really the only time I've been touched. Okay, so I came in early in the morning and I'm walking along the other side to turn on the radio up above there. We have Irish music playing. And as I'm walking along, on these cells we have, this is how we test how long people are in the VR for, and we know when they're about to come off. It's like stopwatch. And the first one is over there, and as I got to there, the first one went off, and then I came along here, and then this one went off, and I came along here, and this one, and they all went off, all four of them went off. I went on and I turned on the music and came down around to turn them off, to stop them, and as I got to each one, they went off.
Wow. So, all right, so I'm going to put that on pause. Back to it. So that one that has just annoyed us for the last
10 minutes,
which we were standing next to,
has stopped and is back to normal.
And now you've moved it away.
And I've moved it away. And the odd thing is, I had just finished telling you the story how I had walked along the other side one morning, and as I was walking parallel to these doors where we have the stopwatches on, each one started beeping as I went past. And then as I came around to turn them off, each one went off right before I got to it. I just finished telling you that story. And then it's just constantly going off, but none of the others, and you've moved it now, and it's just... I've moved it. I'll take them down if you want, so that it doesn't happen for you tonight.
All right.
Make sure it won't go off, unless you want them up there just to see.
As long as I know how to turn them off if they all go off. But that's brilliant. So you're not going to join us tonight?
No, I'm not going to join you.
You
I'm
can
going
if
to
you
leave.
want. You're quite welcome to.
Thank you very much. You
Come and see what we do.
I don't want to influence your investigation.
You won't.
Yourself. But
All right. Hopefully we can get you some more ghost stories.
Yeah, please do. Please do. That'd be great.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So we're down in the dungeon at Wicklow Gaol, and we're going to do a bit of an EVP session, and maybe...
Go away.
Thank you. Thank you, Ghost Tube. for your input. We'll go away soon, I promise you. So the reason I'm down here is Colleen told us that there was some horrendous stuff done in here and that there was torture done. And one of them is in here. Now, there looks like a jacuzzi in there, but it's not, it's a bath. And apparently they used to heat that bath up. They used to put hot coals, heat it up, and boil the person in there as a form of torture. And that's just one of the things that would happen down here. So this is why we thought we'd come down here first, start the night down here.
So he is shuffling coal. Just in there, look, into the bath.
Or under the bath.
Yeah. The poor person in there is probably being boiled. So, a little bit cruel. Well, in fact, a lot cruel.
A little bit
A little bit
A
cruel.
little bit of an understatement, really, isn't it?
We have all sorts of things happening in all these cells over here. The creepiest guy has to be this one over here. This one. Oh, we got the light? Oh. That's me setting that up. This one has to be this guy here. How creepy is he?
So what's in the cell next door? You haven't been there?
No.
Have you?
I don't know if you can go in that one. What's in that one? Left latch. Oh, He's a nice one. All right. So, should we get started?
We should. Talking. We are talking.
We are talking.
So, no.
And there's Boris. To me, it looks like Boris Johnson.
In another 10 years.
Yeah.
Hello. So just to say the flux has just gone off in there. Thank you. That's somebody in there. And the music box has gone off. There's somebody here with us. So the flux just went off and the music box just went off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is anybody here? Oh, hello.
Hello. That's a yes, by the way. If you go to the other side, it'll go red, and that'll be a no. I'm not going in the cell to show.
Alright, so if there's anybody in here, is it okay if I go in?
Yeah.
Alright, so anybody in here? I think I might have been me.
Do it again.
Back. No, it's not. Alright. So if there's anybody in here, we don't wish you any harm at all. We bought you a gift. So we bought you some tobacco just down here on the floor. And all you have this little ball next to it. All you got to do is just touch the ball. Alright, and then this one here, this is a yes and no. We go this side here for yes, and that side there for no. Is that you?
That's not me. Oh, it's really good enough.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That definitely wasn't me either, so that was pretty cool. And down, oh, So you know how to use the musical box, that's really good. Do you like that? Can you do me a massive favour? Can you just move away from it for a moment, please? Thank you. That's cool.
That is cool.
Alright, what you can do now, you can go and play. If you just stand in front of it, you can play a nice long tune for me. Stand in front of it and play a nice long tune. If we could do that, that'd be great. You don't want to play? That's fine, you don't have to. Well done, that's really good. Just if you step right to one side for me. Alright, if you just move away from that one for the moment, just move right away from it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
I think it's glitching.
I don't know, should we turn it off?
Yeah. I'm just going to play with the button.
Cat ball, he's going off.
Where?
Next to me and I haven't moved. That's the handcuffs.
So there's 3 bits of equipment going on.
That one over here, we've actually got another piece of very funny looking stuff for you. And all you got to do is go near it. Just go, you have to touch it, just go near it. And it'll do that. Alright. Think you can do that for me? What on earth? Well, it was quiet. No, it didn't do anything for ages.
Right?
Maybe if you turn it around and put it on this block here. Put it on
Well, it's
this.
not doing anything now, you said that.
So shall we move it and put it on here?
Well, now next to it's doing nothing.
The thing is, that was down for a good
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes before we started filming.
Oh, flux. Which one?
Green. Thank you for that. If you want that tobacco that's in there, you can light the light up. Should we just swap them over just in case, do you think? Or I'll put these this way. Let's do a swap. Alright, so we've now got the handcuffs down here, and then the musical box over that way over there. Okay, so if you want the musical box, we've now moved it. Do you want to have a go with that one?
The music box remained quiet after being moved to its new spot. Either somebody didn't like it being moved closer to us, or it was just glitching, which they definitely can do if not lined up properly. The other 2 pieces of equipment going off at the same time was a lot more curious.
That guy in there is really creepy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Should we do an EVP?
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah? Okay. Should we put it in that cell where things are going off?
What?
With that creepy guys in there?
Oh, the voice recorder.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon it's all still going off around here, so we can probably put it next to the music box.
Okay. Okay, so what we want you to do with these here, I'm going to put this little box, this little tiny little box here. It's got an orange light on it. We're going to ask you some questions. I'm going to put it on here. Can you go to answer them for me, please? We'd love it if you could.
No, we've been a bit rude. We haven't introduced ourselves.
No.
My name's Alison.
And my name's Kag.
I'm just wondering if there is anybody down here who's setting this equipment off. Can you give us your name too? Do we know who we're talking to?
Is there anybody in here that was going to be sent to Australia? Because that's where we're from. So if you are from, if you're going to be sent to Australia, can you let us know, please?
I heard the people were hurt down here. Did they hurt you?
It's a bird in the distance.
Yeah.
What did they used to put under the bath to keep it really, really hot? Okay, good enough? Okay. Alright. See if I've caught anything. How cool would it be?
Bluetooth device is aux input mode.
Alright. We love it if you could.
So we've been a bit rude, we haven't introduced myself. My name's Alison.
And my name's Kag.
We're just wondering if there is anybody down here who's setting this equipment off. Can you give us your name too? Do we know who we're talking to?
What was that?
We're talking to? Do we know who we're talking to? Do we know who we're talking to?
Is there anybody
Could just be
here
labelled
that's
on that
going
one.
to be sent to Australia? Because that's where we're from. So if you are from, if you're going to be sent to Australia, can you let us know, please?
I heard the people were hurt down here. Did they hurt down here?
Is that?
Did they hurt down here?
3 taps.
Did they hurt you?
Oh.
Did they hurt you?
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
That wasn't. No.
oh, frig.
That's almost like a no. Oh, I know, I can hear it.
Okay, enough. Oh, again.
What?
Is that me? That then?
That's me.
No, I meant no. The noise like the. That. Oh no. Probably just us moving. That was me. Okay, that was a little bit creepy. Shall we? What do you want to do next? Do you want to do
Power
go
off.
straight to anaesthetes with what's going on?
Yeah, we can go do a straight ghost box first.
ghost box?
Yeah, I reckon. Because sometimes if you miss something, then.
How many ladies are down here? How many living ladies? Let's use this box to try and talk to us if you can. It's funny, since we moved the musical box, the flux and the cat balls haven't gone off.
No. Maximum recording time. Let's put it on costume instead then.
Green.
Just gone off again.
No.
Want to do the anesthesia?
Yeah. We just get my headphones. What would have been there again?
I'm going to go in this cell and do it.
Yeah.
Coming in with you. That's okay. Not creepy here at all.
Watch the
Hello,
watch the
you
stuff.
might join you.
Oh, she's not going to hear me. Okay.
A little box on my head. If you want to talk through this, I'll hear you.
Okay. Can you tell me how many living females are in this building, please? How many living females are downstairs?
The room.
Which room? What room are you talking about? What room are you talking about? What's the room? Which one?
Touch you.
You can touch Alison if you want to. Can you tell me what your crime was? What you were accused of?
I haven't.
You haven't what? You didn't commit a crime? Or were you innocent?
Me.
Can you touch Alison? Can you grab one of Alison's legs for me, please? Just let her know that she's there. Go and grab one of her legs. She won't mind.
Please leave.
Oh, I'd rather not, if that's...
Two.
Okay, yeah, there's two of us. I'd rather you not leave if possible. Would like to stay. If you were innocent, okay, what did they say that you did? What was your supposed crime?
Not much coming through.
If you don't want us in here, tell us to get out nice and clearly. Say, get out.
Dead. Kate.
Who's Kate? Can you tell me who Kate is?
Paul, please. Bullshit. Don't do that. What the hell? Well, at least they know I can't hear anything.
I came to ask you, did your stomach rumble just before I came in?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because there was a moan there.
More than a moment when you touched me. Jesus.
What am I supposed to do? I haven't got a torch on me.
It's not too torch.
Oh dear me.
Ever they didn't know whether I can hear or not.
No, exactly. I don't know if I got your face actually, because you pushed me out the way with the camera. I think I got mostly the door. Oh dear.
I think that was Lee or Steve.
Did you think that was funny? That just frightened her. We bought you some whiskey and we bought you some tobacco. Would you like any of those?
It's done.
What's done? Can you tell me what's done?
Dead.
It's a creepy feeling behind me in here. Keep looking behind my shoulder, looking over my shoulder. If you don't want us in here, you want us to leave, can you say good night to me, please?
Agreed.
Cool. Just say good night then, and we'll leave you in peace. Say good night.
Leave.
I want you to say good night, if possible, please. No?
I don't think it's much. Not
Okay.
very much. I think he's scared of the way when you look at it and do something else.
No, you did that earlier. That's twice I've got you tonight.
I'm tempted to do another EDP
Yes, I was thinking the same.
before we.
I wonder if I put it in the cell this time.
Someone seems to be around us, then why move it if you're getting
Well, that's true. All right.
monsters around here? You want me to do it since you're filming?
Yeah, go on then.
Did Des Tube say anything of interest?
No.
Oh, I haven't got the volume up this one.
That's probably why I didn't say anything then. It's probably come out with a load of relevant words and we just said, no, we don't know what it was.
It's probably going to full on conversation.
Got something gone really cold down here.
It's quite comfy in that, so.
I kept looking over my shoulder.
I was more, yeah. Actually, I'm wanting to.
That one?
Yeah. Should we go into that one?
Mm.
I don't know why, this one creeps me out.
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at.
Yeah, it's cold on the legs as well. Right, so I'm going to put this on, a little box with an orange light. If you want to talk into it, I'm just going to put it there. Alright. So you know who we are, we've introduced ourselves. For some reason, this room draws me more, and Keg. So just wondering if there is anybody in there. Can you give us your name, please?
Tom.
Tom?
It means you.
Is your name Tom? Alright, just listen back. Thank you, Tom. Making us jump. Okay. So you know who we are, we've introduced ourselves. For some reason,
Where are
this
you?
room draws me more, and Keg. So just wondering if there is anybody in. We've introduced ourselves. For some reason, this room draws me more, and Keg. So just this room draws me more, and Keg. So just wondering if there is anybody in there.
It is I'm not having a big breath,
Can you give
but
us your name, please?
Tom.
Tom.
it means you.
Can you give us your name, please?
Tom. How?
Must have been horrific.
It was hell down here. That wouldn't happen now.
Talk with me.
We're trying to talk with you. Alright, what's the back? That's some interesting stuff.
That was really cool.
Alright, so I don't know, it's interesting with the EVP, wasn't it?
Oh, we've possibly
can't
some
wait
really
to
cool ones.
Take that home and listen back to it. So I think I've had more noises on the EVP thing. Nothing definite, but definitely interesting. So, but yeah, we could come back down here later. But I think we move on.
I think we do.
We're going to see what else we can find. Huge jail. Let's go.
Okay.
The hell was that? Alright, those of you there, you've already been playing with the equipment. Alright, I was just about to say, can you light up the ball that you... Oh, I haven't moved. We've got 2 balls and the music box going off now.
I don't know what that was,
That
but
was on the staircase behind you.
well, there's nothing there. Thankfully.
That you can see.
That I can see.